All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Recha, Kodash, Rekathum. Double honor to my apostles, great millstone. Salutations to the occupant of four corners who's pushing his truth. In all sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. This is Atazawam coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. I pray and hope that this is edifying. And I'm not sure what I'm going to name this title just yet. But I wanted to do a slight response to the elder brother, Requaya Kwam. Slack if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, bro. GMS, Fear the Most High, 7, Ba. Okay? And he went into First Peter's earlier today. And I didn't catch it all. I just caught maybe the last 10 to 5 minutes of it. And the last precept he read was Acts, the 10th chapter. And I kind of wanted to comment on... Oh, shit. It's a lot. I wanted to comment on... I'm just trying to bring it back a little bit. I wanted to comment on... God damn it. When it says one of another nation, okay? And then there's some other things that the brother was speaking about, making mention, referring to that precept that I wanted to kind of speak on and grab a precept to as well, just to add to this brother. So no further ado, oh, look at that, 144. No further ado, I'm gonna let the brother say what he says, and then we're gonna go in from there.
And double honors onto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Okay. The water toward the ark and on the comment board. So
Goodness. Let's go back.
how you getting around this?
Okay, here, I start.
They're Israelites, man. They're Israelites. Acts 10 and 28. Peter said to them, ye know how that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God have shewed me that I should not call any man. Well, let's get it because the brother ain't posted the rest. He on that copy and paste move right now. Let's get it up. Yeah, the whole Cornelius was an Israelite, man.
Yep.
Cornelius was an Israelite. Cornelius and his brethren and his family, they were all Israelites that were scattered, out there in Rome and that, in Italy. Acts 10 and 28. And he had, you know that how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto another nation. But God hath shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Right? Therefore I came unto you without gainsaying, as soon as I was sent for. I asked therefore what intent ye have sent for me. And Cornelius was a Jew, and the Jews didn't keep company with people from other nations, man, from outsiders, people that weren't keeping the customs. That included Israelites that were scattered among them nations that were not keeping the customs.
Right, and that was the big feud back in the Roman Empire, all right, back in that time of the apostles, right, and Yahweh Shai, because you had the Jews that was born into the customs of the law, and they looked down upon the Israelites that wasn't born up into the customs. They considered them as heathens. And quite frankly, a lot of them were goddamn heathens. You know, Jake didn't have beards. You know, Jake was probably bald head wearing togas and shit. You know, they didn't have it was a distinction between the garments of the Hebrews, right? Then the attire of the Romans or the Greeks. Okay? So they was looking at them like, you guys you're heathens. You're not a part of this. Okay? But see, all of that was prophecy. See, that's one thing that vocab, the Agagite doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the prophecies according to the scriptures, man. Okay? And we get the same precepts, over and over. And it's beautiful because, we learn more and more as we go. That may sound repetitive, but hey, whatever, man. Let me get what was that? Ephesians, going into what the elder was saying, and that's Ephesians 11. And let's go back to what he said just a tad bit. actually do it like this. Just to go back and let them finish.
Because they weren't no better. They, as far as they were concerned, they were unclean because they ate unclean things. They did unclean things. They weren't keeping the laws of cleanliness. But the Lord didn't just come to deliver people out of the remnant of Judea. He came to deliver the remnant of his people that was scattered throughout all the different nations. And that's what it's all about. He also to gather together the children of God which were scattered abroad, the outcasts of Israel.
Exactly.
Is
the outcast of Israel, man. And you know what? I was gonna do something, but I'm gonna actually do it this way. Hold on. Okay, let's go here real quick. You know what? Let me read this Galatians, because the brother made mention. Well, the scripture made mention, which let me read the scripture. Let me read it first. Shalaki, I don't want to be all over the place, but some things is popping in my head. Acts 10:28. It says, and he said unto them, ye know how that it is unlawful. It is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come into one of another nation. But the Most High have shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Because see, check it out. Remember, he thought they were speaking about food. But no, he was speaking about people. Okay? Remember the when he said kill and eat? Hold on. Let's get that. Kill, eat. You see how he thought he was food first? And then through the spirit, he was like, oh shit, this is talking about men. This is talking about the scattered. Hold on. Where we at? Acts. Oh, my stupid ass. I could have just went up. Salakia. Let me see. Because he had the vision. Acts 10:9. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. See how the Lord do it? Now check this out. See how it happens. And saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to the earth. See that? Remember about the 4 corners, okay? Wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have not eaten anything that is common or unclean. You see? So he thought they were speaking about food, kill and eat. But no, it was just speaking about going to teach those scattered. Okay? It said, what is saying? 4-footed beasts of the earth and wild beasts and creeping things and fowls of the air. Those are, now when you go into the scriptures speak about the Israelites as a wild no, not wild olive tree, but that's one. A speckled bird, it likens to Israel into certain animals and things like that. Okay, this was talking about people. It wasn't literally talking about food. Okay, that's why he said I don't eat nothing that's not lawful. But Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. He was like, no, I'm not eating that. But it was talking about going and teaching, it was going to come into the point where he had to go get Cornelius. And the voice spake unto him again, and the second time, what the Most High cleansed, that call not thou common. Right? Because Yahushua shed his blood. Okay? And through Yahushua washed basically the sins away for the nation of Israel and bridging the gap between those brothers and sisters that were scattered abroad. Okay, this was done thrice. See, thrice. What does three mean? It means understanding. Okay, this was done thrice, and the vessels was received up again into heaven. Okay, now it's gonna go into. Now I'm gonna jump back down, and let's go to 28. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But the Most High have shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. You see that? He thought it was food, but it was actually talking about men. We can't say that someone is unclean. Only Yahweh Shem Yahushua can say that. Because guess what? Through the customs, we could say it, and that's what the Jews was on. Oh, these people are unclean. They're uncircumcised. They're heathens. They're Gentiles. But no, you can't. If the Lord say that they're clean and they can come into the fold, But okay, boom. Now, Galatians 2. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to rush it. Let me go to where I want to go to. It says, Ye know that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. Okay, now let's get some understanding on one of another nation. And it was talking about Israelites. Acts 10. And this is what I was going to post in the brother's chat, but, he ended it. So, I just held back through the spirit and said, I'm going to just do a lesson on it later. Okay, so check this out. When you go into Acts 10 and 28, when it speaks about to keep company or come into one of another nation, right? What nation? Is it talking about an actual natural Gentile nation? Or, now when you go into it, it's aphilos, but you got to go into the root word etymology, okay, and go to the word phule. Boom, phule. And what does phule say? In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 tribes, one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, tribe, kindred. What are you talking about? See, it even tells you here. He was speaking about different tribes, which is what the tribes or the Israelites that was called unclean, Gentile, or those that were scattered. Okay. In fact, let's see if they have it here. Let's see. They should have Revelation here. See, this is something that the plantation Christianity try to go to. Boom. Here we go. Revelation. Revelations 5 and 9. This is what the Christian church try to use. We're not so very much a Christian church. You got guys like Vocab Malone, who thinks he knows what he's talking about. He tries to pull out Revelation 7 and 4, Revelations 5 and 9. Revelation 7 and 9, pardon me. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get the whole precept, though. Append, go to, here we go. Okay. Now it says Revelation 5 and 9, and they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. So when you read this, this is what these unlearned Christians do. They think this is talking about everybody that's scattered around the world, but it's not. It's going to go into the same word, phule, okay? The same word, phule, and I believe it is kindred. Yep, kindred. It says, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, right? What kindred? The Israelites. That seed. Okay? Now let's go to Revelation 7 and 9. Now, when you go into this, it tells you 144,000 was sealed out of 12 out of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so on and so forth. Those that were sealed. Okay? But see, the churches, the plantation idiots, all right, because that's what they are, they will try to use this very scripture and try to do the same thing with the Revelation 5 and 9 to try to bunch people in, man. Same thing. After this, I beheld and lo, a great multitude which no man could number of all nations. See, they want to say all nations. Oh, this is talking about all nations of the world. All the people in the world. No, it's not. And kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hand. The reason why I said nation, okay, that great multitude, and it says nation because the Israelites were scattered, okay, on the four corners of the earth. That's what made it all nations. So let's check this out. Revelation 7 and 9. We're going to go back to kindred. Phule. Same thing as Acts the 10th chapter and the 28th verse. So this is talking about the Israelites. So Cornelius was an Israelite. He was just from a different tribe. He could have been out of the tribe of Ephraim. He could have been out of the tribe of Judah. Okay? But he was brought up. He probably had on a different attire instead of a Hebrew attire. That's why he said, I'm of another nation. I'm classified as a heathen, as a Gentile. Okay? And that's why they couldn't keep company with them. Now let's go. I had Galatians up. Now it's time to get the Galatian. Okay? Just to give an example, okay? Because the Jews were the main, the circumcision, okay? The circumcision, day of the circumcision was oppressing the shit out of their own brothers, man. You know? They hated them, you know? Which, you know, in a sense, rightfully so to the ones that was actually deliberately being fucking Greeks and wanting to be of the Greekish nation, like Jason and Empire before. That same vibration of Jason, you know, wanting to be a part of the Greek Empire. You know, that same vibration was still around, you know, now that they came into the Roman Empire. But you did have brothers and sisters who didn't want to be a part of that. Like Cornelius. Cornelius was praying. Right? But let's get to it. Let me stop talking. Sorry. Galatians. Let's get to the point. This is Galatians. I'm going to start from 8. For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision, the same was mighty in me toward the Gentiles. This is Paul speaking. Okay. And when James, Caiaphas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given unto me, they gave to me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship, Slakia, that we should go unto the heathen, and they unto the circumcision. Okay? So, once again, they called the Israelites heathens. Okay? In fact, I believe it's in the gospel. If your brother wouldn't forgive you, and he was being a nigga to you, and he didn't want to, if you went to your brother, you know, to clear up a fault or whatever, from whatever it may be, and he didn't want to hear it, you go into the company of the elders and bring the counsel to them. And if he was still being a nigga, it said basically, you know, cast him out as a heathen man, you know, because the Israelite men and women, we supposed to love one another as brothers. Okay? So if you brothers out there ain't loving one another as brothers, you will be classified as a fucking heathen, man. Okay? Just to throw that out there. It says, only they would that we should remember the poor, the same which I also was forward to do. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision. See, because it was a custom to not, it was made a custom to not even deal with them. Okay, so Peter was being a hypocrite, in this situation. It said, fearing them which were of the circumcision, okay? Because they were eating and, breaking bread or whatever, whatever you have you and circumcision come up like, hey, these is they fucking Gentiles, man. What are y'all doing with them? They eat, they drink, they eat the blood and, things of that nature, and they don't keep the laws and so on and so forth. So when Acts 10 says it, what it says, that's an example. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation, which was a scattered Israelite. It was frowned upon. Okay? It was frowned upon. But see, according to prophecy, and you know what? Let's get that in Ephesians now. Let's get Ephesians. I'm going the wrong way. Ephesians 2. Because this was their issue, that they wasn't born into the customs. This is Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore, remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them wasn't circumcised. I believe Titus wasn't circumcised. Okay? And then he got circumcised to prove his faith through the Spirit. Okay? Wherefore, remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands. So the circumcision were the Jews that knew the customs. The uncircumcision was the Israelites that were scattered abroad, who wasn't raised up into the customs. So they may have had a bald head. They may have not had a beard. Okay? They may not have been circumcised, because the generation before, they were being killed and slaughtered. So the mothers and the fathers, they stopped circumcising. You gotta know the history of this, man. All right, man. The mystery is history, man. You understand the mystery by the history. Okay, you will understand the mysteries by understanding the history. It says that at that time you were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. So you didn't understand what this thing was about. You didn't know that you was an Israelite. You didn't understand the commonwealth, which is what the riches of the kingdom. And strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world. So they didn't know. It was foreign to them. Okay, it was alien to them. But now in Hamashiach Yahushai, ye who sometimes were afar off are made nigh by the blood of Hamashiach. So that was the bridging the gap between the Gentiles and the Jews. That's why the scripture says neither Greek nor Jew. Okay? For he is our peace, okay, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us. See, now we can be brothers and sisters again. Now we can come back into the fold of understanding that we're Israelites and we must worship one power now. Okay? We must worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances. See? Because the Jews, they thought and believed everything was the law, the law, the law, the law, the law. They were so stuck on the law to the point where when the Messiah did come, they rejected him. Okay? For to make in himself of twain one new man, so making peace. And this is what Paul was cussing Peter out about. He said, hey, it's through Yahushai, man. You ain't got to worry about what the goddamn circumcision talking about, man. The Lord woke us up through faith, not by the law. Right? He say, let's get that. He gonna go into it. He called them heathens. He called them hypocrites. Galatians 2:13, and the other Jews assembled likewise with him, inasmuch that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation, which means hypocrisy. But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou being a Jew livest after the manner of the Gentiles, and not as do the Jews, why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews? Right, which is what are the customs. We who are Jews by nature and not sinners of the Gentiles, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Hamashiach Yahushai. Even we have believed in Yahushua Hamashiach, that we might be justified by faith of Hamashiach, and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. So he said, we believe in the faith of Yahushua, man, not the works of the law. That's what the circumcision was on. And this is why they was calling them heathens, man. But see, through Yahushua, okay, who you guys call Jesus Christ, right? Through him, brought back those that was lost, those that was scattered, man. In fact, it said that the tents of Judah should be first. And this was a part of the prophecy, okay? And this is something that clown, Haman the Agagite doesn't understand, man. Yeah, Zechariah 12. I'll keep it here. This is Zechariah 12:7. It says, the Lord Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. So the Jews or the circumcision had to get it first. They was brought up in the law. Okay, it really never left them. Okay, they was brought up in the customs and, like, what is it, Matthew 23, how the Pharisees and Moses' seat, okay, which is what the giving of the law. But when it came to those brothers that were scattered abroad, they rejected them because they didn't know, and some of them didn't give a F, So let's go. It says, where we at? Hold on, let me get something real quick. Just popped in my head. Let's see. Acts, the 13th chapter. Here we go. This is Acts 13:41. It says, behold, ye despisers, and wonder, and perish, for I work a work in your days, and your days a work which ye shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. And what was that work? That work was waking up the Gentiles, bringing our brothers back home under Yahushua. Okay? And this is why Ephesians is going to go in on it. Verse 16, and that he might reconcile both unto the Most High in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby, and came and preached peace to you which were afar off, and to them that were nigh. Who was far off? Those that were scattered. For through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. So now we have access. No one have access through the holies of holies and sacrificing and things like that. No, by Yahweh's sacrifice, it did that away. Now, for through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. See, the scripture says that we're gonna worship him in spirit and in truth. Not by the law. Okay? So going back into it, one of another nation, right? And I heard, no class try to use that. That was speaking about an Israelite, right? 19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints of the Lord. I'm sorry, of the but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets, Yahushua Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. Okay? In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. And this is why in Acts, I believe the 3rd chapter, it was spoken about in the tabernacle of David coming together, because what is going into it on how the Israelites were going to get back together, bridge that gap through Yahweh's sacrifice. Going into this precept, right? Let's get that. James 1:1. James, the servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Okay? Let's get another one. What's that? Hosea 1:10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. See that? They were first called not the Lord's people in Rome. All right? They were saying, hey, you're not the people of the Most High. But through the Lord's sacrifice and raising up his prophets to go out there and prophesy, they beginning with Paul, far as the Gentiles go. We just read that in Galatians 2, that him and Barnabas was put in charge of waking up the Gentiles, those that were scattered. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel, man. And this is the beginning stages of what? The tabernacle of David being built up. Coming together again. Under one ruler. All right? And that's how it goes. Let's go back to Acts real quick, and I'm going to finish on up, and I'm going to end it. Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm explaining it the best way I can. Okay? Acts 13:42. And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. So their spirit was being ignited. Their spirit was being renewed. They wanted to hear it again. Now, when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of the Most High. See? So when the Gentiles said, oh man, salvation is unto us, and we can come back, oh, they was joyous, man. Just like we were. Well, we were scattered. We were Gentiles at one point in time. But when the Jews saw the multitude, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming. See? Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of the Most High should first have been spoken to you. See? Going back to that Zechariah 12:7. First spoken unto you. Zechariah 12:7. The Lord Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first. So prophecy had to play its part. Okay? Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of the Most High should first have been spoken to you. But seeing he put it off from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. See that? For so hath the Lord commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the ends of the earth. Okay? This is the Israelite foreigners, the Israelite Gentiles that were scattered, that were making their way back home through the gospel. That's what this is about. The Israelites that were scattered, making their way back home through the gospel, through the words of the gospel, and having faith in them and believing. It wasn't talking about no other fucking nation, man. It was talking about the Israelites. That's it. That's all. All right? Yeah, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna just play this. The point is made, but I want to just hear a little bit more on what the brother said. I think this pretty much is it. Then I'm gonna end it.
Very simple. So we today who are receiving the Spirit, the reason we're receiving the Spirit and receiving this word and receiving this understanding is because we are the children of the Most High. We are those Israelites that the Lord said that He would not forsake. That Yahushua said He would be with always, even unto the ends of the earth.
That's right.
That's why we're receiving this word in these last days, because we are the Israelites. We are of that chosen race. Bruv. Okay. The water to all the ark and on the comment board, so I couldn't get to all them.
So now, so that's it. Like the brother said, man, we are that chosen race, man, through the Spirit. And we fell, and the Lord, through the Haruch HaKodesh, woke us up. Okay, it happened then, and it happened today. See that? It happened back then, and then it happened today. And guess what? The Israelite that's scattered abroad is waking up in tons, all around the world, man. So with that, I'd like to give all going on and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, Bakathum, double honor to my apostle, great millstone, and salutations to the Akim on the four corners for pushing this truth and all sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. Abba, and I pray, I hope that this was edifying. Shalom.